Hello, Shikha.
Sid, glad to be seeing you back here on this platform.
That was awesome. I really loved the conversation. That was so good, so engaging. Lots of very, very interesting questions.
Thanks.
And this is what I feel so passionate about. Answering those unanswered questions for people and bringing the right people to answer those questions, which can change their lives. I just love it. But thank you so much for doing this.
There's so many tips that I'm taking from you to be an amazing host. You are par excellence. I swear by it.
Thank you, Shikha. It really means a lot. Let's jump right into a very interesting topic. All right. So you run a full-time business, right? You're an entrepreneur, and you're a host. You're an MC. You do corporate events. COVID-19 happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
And prior to that, you must have had a lot of bookings. And once COVID happened, what went through, and how did you pivot from there? What happened after that?
Right.
What is the new norm? Talk to us a little bit about it.
Mm-hmm. Sid, firstly, I'd say another thank you to you. Already people do charge me of saying a lot of thank yous, but here I would say another to you duly. Because, I was very fascinated with the idea when you said, Shikha, you are an entrepreneur Nari, right? And you call me an entrepreneur. I think I feel honored because people out there at large don't feel that this is being an entrepreneur, like an MC's job is being an entrepreneur.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's one perception which you're breaking. So I think it feels privileged to be called one. So thank you for that. And if you ask me about the COVID diaries, which are still ongoing, Sid. So I think March 8th was my last gig on ground events with the Economic Times that was in Delhi, and held in tight security, where our Honorable PM was also present. And we were just wondering whether the entire event would be scrapped or not. But the PM, of course, graced the occasion and he was present. That happened to be the last, I think, 25 days of March, when all my shows of March got cancelled, and the upcoming shows as well. I think definitely there was a little frenzy, there was a little panic. And of course, in the sense that we were freaking out that, no gatherings, our business for that matter, or our work for that matter, is based on mass gatherings, congregations. What if they don't happen? I mean, it could be years and months of no work at all. And virtual events were never the thing back then, when it just had happened. But Sid, I think maybe because of all the toil that was done across all these years, I was amongst the early starters to get a straightaway 8 days gig from ITC. That was a Mom's Magic concert hosting all 8 celebrities. And because it was such a super successful show, because of course the content that was brought to the table, because of the elements that were involved in the show, basically, the second series happened. So I had 16 days of back-to-back work, much more than what I did on ground, to be honest.
Wow.
While at the same time, Sid, industry at large was affected because there was a lot of, despair that way. So still not every anchor is getting as much work, but because everybody has adapted to the virtual format now. So everybody has something, in their kitties now. But thankfully, because I was amongst the early starters, and one big change that happened, Sid, with virtual events, more than on ground.
Yeah.
The face value mattered less and the content mattered more, which I feel is one rationale why I could sustain doing more number of shows. So Sid, thankfully, by the grace of God, it has been a decent time, but we missed stages. We want to go back with that live connect with the audience. I think that's most fascinating. But people who think that, and how we thought as well, while the entire focus was given on ground, as the showbiz industry is called. There is digital fatigue, I admit to that, but I think a lot of important virtual events are anyway happening. So there's a career even in COVID-19 era, Sid, I would say.
Yeah, very nice, well said. So when we spoke about virtual events, right? Transitioning from Did you ever imagine that there is going to be a virtual event prior to that?
Not at all, Sid.
No, right? Yeah,
Not that I and you would be talking
good.
either. Yeah.
Absolutely. So how do you feel? So are you feeling that, you know what? Hey, this is a new opportunity now, even when it gets back to the regular norm, where we are going to be doing live shows. It is a new opportunity what you have. It's a new business stream or a revenue stream, because you could be hosting for events which are happening in the US or in the Middle East or Africa, wherever, right? It has opened up a whole lot of opportunities for you.
Yes.
Right?
So you're right. You're right to look at it from a positive angle. Even if we get to the normal, I think the new normal is definitely one lucrative opportunity for all of us alike. Yes.
Excellent. So starting your business, the next area where I wanted to talk to you a little bit about is starting your business and scaling your business. A lot of young women entrepreneurs, this is a fact, all right? The fact is that, and this has been published in various magazines and journals as well, typically if you start a business today, as a sole entrepreneur, as a solopreneur, if I may call it, you run it from home. Prior to COVID, you could make about $250,000, roughly about $250,000 just running your business from home. And if you adapt to all the digital marketing techniques and things like that, during COVID, it has gone from 250 to over 450,000 just as a single entrepreneur. All right, just as an individual, you can run your business and you could make close to about $500,000. All right, and this is what I keep saying to the students, stating that think about, as a woman entrepreneur, if you're a student, while you're studying in college, come back home, think about how can you effectively utilize digital channels, start your own business. So like that, there are a lot of young entrepreneurs whom I speak to from colleges, in the college events, whatever I'd attended. We highlight and shine the light on some of the entrepreneurs in the audience, women entrepreneurs. So they are in the second year, third year, and they've started online businesses of selling jewelry, design.
Wow.
They do various different things.
All managed digitally, now, right? That's fascinating.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they feel safe. You know, they feel safe about doing that from home. They don't need to go anywhere. And now it has worked out very well during COVID times. Now, the key point, what I wanted to capture out of that is, while they are doing this, it is about the scale. Are they going to do as a single entrepreneur forever, as a solopreneur forever, which becomes a lifestyle business? You know what? I'm earning just enough money. I'm fine. That's a career, right? Or how do I make this into an enterprise? How do I create opportunities for people? How do I make this into a huge business opportunity, right? With that being said, my question to you is, you started off as an individual, that you are on stage being an MC or a presenter. From there, how did you scale your business, right? Do you have a content team? Do you have people working? What are you doing? How did you scale, and what are you doing? Tell us a little bit more about that, so that there will be some important nuggets for students in terms of how to scale, how to think about scaling a business.
Right. So Sid, in my case, of course, the business looks like that for the gigs. I have to be the only person who has to do my job, right? I mean, I have to be on the stages to do my job, which may not be the case across other forms of businesses that exist, right? So I would say I would be a one man army there, one woman army there, right from, say, as I said, preparing my wardrobe to entertaining the business queries, to preparing the content and doing the rehearsals, to presenting it, and of course, then the huge task of course, posting all this stuff on social media, pulling out all those snippets and posting the right things so that the right things get the visibility and publicity, for that matter, on social media. There are specific jobs that I delegate, and I urge, if in whichever capacity, because you get manpower for every price, for that matter. So you have to identify whom you can hire with whatever cash is available to you. Like, for example, it's true that virtual events don't pay you as much as, in most of the cases, as on-ground events did. So while, yes, I had a person to do my social media postings way back in last year, for example, same month, when I was traveling hugely, I had a dedicated person to manage that. I'm not, for example, I'm not able to afford that person right now. So I'm doing everything on my own. But there would be certain tasks in your, entrepreneurial journey or the activity basically that you wouldn't enjoy at all. So I would strongly promote delegation in that case. Like I don't edit my videos. I'm not an expert at it. I would rather enhance my creativity and use that time to, build my content, for example. So for certain things, I would still hire no matter which era it is, pre-COVID or post-COVID.
Yeah.
So it's good to delegate things that don't fall into your, I would say that energetic aura basically that you don't enjoy doing. So it's okay to delegate.
Agree.
But something like this, Sid, that I do, yes, most of the work does revolve around my involvement. But the big businesses that the students plan to build, for example, they might be sourcing the jewelry from somewhere. They need a channel for, further circulating it or selling it to the large audiences out there and the customers out there. I think it's okay to collaborate. And I think digital is a very good medium to find such like-minded people. And creating a fantastic network to do so. So, Sid, if I talk about sustainability, yes, my involvement would always be needed as long as I am hosting for that matter. But there are two lacunae that I feel are there in this industry, which is that there's no organized body in terms of, furnishing the right amount of talent, right kind of talent. There are umpteen genuine talents available. And like how you have for corporate trainers, there are proper agencies, existing who would source those trainers to the corporates, right?
Correct.
There are experiential bodies existing. There are websites existing that would showcase an anchor's or live artist profile. But I would say there's no proper channel. Event agencies would not know all this talent that's existing. They might know a Shikha, they might know a Sid for that matter, but not everybody. So there should be one proper channel to give work, because a huge part of stress has been, Sid, and which hovers around every live artist's mind is, when is the next gig, because it's inconsistent. It's not a 9 to 6. So a model needs to be designed wherein I find, as a responsible stakeholder going forward, when I'm well equipped as well in my capacity, that we need to have this body of giving work to people as well. Like how you have speakers bureau to supply and suggest speakers. That's one Sid. And the second thing is, because there is no formal education in anchoring, so there should be one maybe going forward. So in terms of my vision, maybe I don't know how to make my own role sustainable, but yes, having an institution or a model which caters to the problems that I have faced, I think this is something that my larger part of vision looks like in the area that I am in the industry that I am in.
Very well said. Okay, that you answered the next question, which I was about to ask, and I think you have another business idea as well, which I call it as innovation brokering, and specifically when you have these kind of conversations. I'm not sure if I put it in good words,
Sid. So sorry.
You absolutely put it you absolutely put it the right way. When we talk about specifically about anchoring, I wanted to ask you this question: is there any specific certification which is available for anchoring? Now, I think anchoring as a career opportunity, there are tons and tons of opportunities available. Every small city needs an anchor. If you go to a small city, it'll be the same individual who would be anchoring various different shows, which means there is a lot of opportunity for people. And I think from this conversation, I want to showcase to people, if you're great at communication skills, if you have a good stage presence, if you're able to converse with people, if you're well-read, if you're reading and you're able to connect the stories, if you're able to speak analogies, you should take that career opportunity. You know what, Shikha? We just created another conversation about how to make a career opportunity, how to think about career opportunities in smaller cities, and lots of opportunities which are being available. With that being said, you mentioned that there is no formal kind of education. So why don't you think about starting right away? And specifically, it is in the COVID era, you can have online classes, pay as you go. You could have the first few. We'll talk about all those business models, but I think there is an amazing opportunity for you out there. And why I said that is, this is how I want young women to think in conversations. You will suddenly get a spark of an idea about a new business opportunity. See the gap in the industry.
Yes.
See the gap in the industry and target that particular gap. And that's what an entrepreneur's job is. And I think you have the right mindset and in terms of really fixing that gap. And I think you're going to do an amazing job. If there is anything I can help you with, let me know. I'll be more than happy to brainstorm ideas and share with you.
I think the first thing that I had, and we all have, is doubts. I've been doubting this all this while, I think, but thank you for that encouragement. We'll definitely take this into account. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So
the next question which I wanted to ask you, Shikha, is, and I know that we've taken a lot of your time, but I would really love for you to give this kind of a thought process. A lot of students are really challenged during COVID. During COVID-19, just because they have to stay at home, their access was very, very restricted. Personal space was a challenge. The students are concerned about education. You know, hey, I'm not able to do online education. A lot of people do not have even iPads. They have to work through their cell phones. It's very, very challenging, right? Now, what is the piece of advice what you may want to give to the students who are going through these challenges, just for them to overcome these challenges? And I want you to have that, what your thoughts are and what would your message be for those students?
Okay. Sid, lack of viable resources to do the studies, basically, you mean, right? The ones who are not able to manage, using the right platform and techniques to study, or for example, research during this time, right? Sid, of course, I would say that make a way if possible, which they know they have to, but seek help, I would say. Seek help from wherever they can, be it their teachers or mentors, or likewise their, fellow group mates, to ensure that the right kind of, platforms or techniques are available to them. But even if it is not in the right proportions, still don't stop, in the sense that keep researching, keep learning about what you would want to make a career, for that matter, for your general enrichment also. So I would say that it should still, while there may be a negative vibe around because of course, the scenario that's around, but still I would say that there should be no stopping in this sense.
Got it.
Even if the right platform or things are not available, if you can't maybe watch news on TV, read it from whichever sources you get. The right kind of apps that you can, the right kind of groups that you can. So I understand a phone may be a smaller format, Sid, but I'm not sure about the economic status if you're talking about whether they can afford a bigger, device or not.
Those are the challenges as well.
It's a little sad to see students, studying from a cell phone. My own relative student kid is, doing that. So I keep on asking them that, can we have a Wi-Fi connection and can we give them a laptop? Because that's definitely more friendly. Books are the friendliest, but what in whatever best capacity, keeping your health in mind, whatever you can, please go for it and don't stop. Yeah.
Excellent. I also read about you stating that you're a huge foodie and you are a fitness addict as well. So talk to us a little bit about what kind of fitness do you follow, and what's your favorite food?
Wow. Sid, anything that's core North Indian is my favorite. But at the same time, thankfully, I'm blessed with a metabolism that supports all that I eat. So definitely the beam balance going towards Shikha being a foodie more. But Sid, I think I enjoy workout forms as well. So while I was, Sid, I'll be honest, initially I was just trying those free things that were available, and one can try the free things that are available for exercising. I would tell you CureFit is a great platform. You can have some free days of trial there. Yasmin Karachiwala and a lot of, Ira Trivedi, she's an amazing yogini herself. So a lot of free content. Shilpa Shetty's content is available on the internet for free. So go ahead and, put on those virtual classes and do that. But for a person like me who is, I think, not as disciplined, Sid, when it comes to, getting up in early morning, I had to enroll myself for some classes. So there is this designated 7:30 to 8:30 workout classes that I have, and it's different on each day. So that really, I think, helps in the adrenaline release and releasing the happy hormones.
Absolutely.
So I strongly suggest, please do exercise, even to start with 30 minutes. Please don't set unrealistic goals. But no matter whatever is your passion, whatever work you want to do, please keep at least 30 minutes aside for your workout. So, yeah.
You know, I brought that up specifically for a particular reason, because I sincerely believe in workouts, and I'm a runner, and I really love doing that day in and day out. With that being said, right, specifically within the student community, it is so important, and with the stress what they are going through due to COVID-19 and the lockdown, staying home, it's an ideal thing to start their day with. Absolutely. Or end their day with. It doesn't really matter when you want to do it, but get that workout schedule. And Absolutely. You doing it in your professional career with all the busyness which happens, you're still finding the time to do it. I think that's a great takeaway for young minds to really start embarking on that journey of start working out, so that they can really get the dopamine, get the happiness, get the joy, and have a happy life moving forward, you know? So right. Great.
Absolutely.
So Shikha, what is that one question?
Always tell us, unlike we are not enthusiasts like you, Sid, when it comes to workouts. So to all the students there, I know your minds would tell you to not do it and, you know, postpone it. So all that, procrastination, as we call it, please Absolutely. Try to set it aside and go for it. As Sid says, I think he's a fitness freak himself. So yeah.
Well, actually, I'm doing this video from my gym. So anyway.
See, I got it right when I complimented you. You're sporty. All right, Sid. Sorry for intervening in your question and thoughts. Yeah.
No worries at all. Is there any particular question which I did not ask you and you would like to share with the audience? A story or a nugget which you would like to share with the audience? If there is something which I've not asked you, I would like you to share that with the audience.
Sid, I think over here we haven't discussed about what if, how to avoid those jitters that you get on the stage, something that I get asked frequently.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So
very good.
For our
Excellent
audiences over here, I think I would like to just quickly address this. While I would like to say that for any meeting or for any occasion that you're wanting to speak, it's a very human feeling to feel a little jittery or have those little thoughts inside your heart, that hustle. I think this hustle, when it converts into a good delivery, that's what gives me the most joy, Sid, like a happy audience or a happy wrap-up of the show. So I think this is the thrill of the job. So there were days when I used to pray initially that let me not have any nervousness today. So technically till date, and also to the legends that I've asked, somebody like legendary singer Hariharan Ji or somebody like Adam Gilchrist, they have jitters right before stepping onto that cricket ground. So please don't beat yourself for that. For any new thing for that matter that you do, it will always be there, because actually if you take it in the positive light, accept it and take it in the positive light, saying that, okay, I acknowledge this emotion, this energy, and I'm going to work from this energy only to do what I want to do anyway. So this is something that will help you to be your authentic self and deliver nevertheless in spite of that. So I would say that, of course, it would come with time. You would get a better grasp of presenting yourself, or for example, taking that the big decision that if you decide to maybe switch your careers or whichever stream you're foraying into. But I think if you're true to the job and if you really feel you love it, you would go for it anyway. And two practical tips that I would want to give to the audiences here would definitely be that you can be in the moment by deep breathing. And the second, I think I would say that smiling helps you ease out a lot of tension. So please do that, because it's a beautiful gesture any which way. So these two things should really help you. And don't criticize yourself for having any kind of emotion. I think it's very natural to go ahead with that. Yes.
Very well said. Very well said. Thank you, Shikha. Shikha, where would you direct our audience to follow you? How do they find you?
Sid, they can find me at I am being Shikha. That's my constant social media handle across Instagram, Facebook page, and Twitter as well. And on LinkedIn, I'm present with the name of Shikha Singh. They can also access my website to know more about me, of course. But if there are any questions, they can personally write to me at, for now, I'm being shikha@gmail.com. So I would be happy to cater to the questions personally as well, interacting one-on-one. And so there's a little thing that I would want to tell everybody who is, as you said, your students who are the budding entrepreneurs there, who are using digital as a medium. I would urge them, because I have learned it by burning my fingers. I would tell them that don't be just emotional while posting content on social media and promoting your stuff on social media, because if you are an emotional person, which I am, but you need to use that, that emotional instinct also, keeping in mind the business that you are in. So while we are not asking you to be fake or to lie about any aspect of your business, but please put rich content and rich post out there. Someday, if I feel emotional and okay, I'm looking nice in this picture, I can't just go ahead and post it. There has to be certain thought, if not a regular timetable for your social media promotions or whatever you're putting out there for people, because this is becoming one huge mammoth channel to talk about your business. So I would say that because I am an evolving artist myself right now, so my friends did tell me that, Shikha, we see, sometimes we're not able to figure out, okay, are you an anchor, or are you, for example, a model, or are you what on social, or are you a fitness freak looking at your Instagram? So I think it's been lately, the last few months, that I have decided that 80% of my content, unless you are really a household name there or your business is a household name, post 80% of your matter on social media as your professional post. Rest 20% can be your lifestyle, etc., depending on what you do. So that would be one digital tip from my side, because I would want you to learn from my experiences, which is best if you do it without committing any mistakes. So yeah.
Absolutely. Great tip again, Shikha. I think the point what you mentioned is it's about leaving a digital trail and how you are perceived by people. Because specifically young adults who are in colleges, right? Typically when we employ people, when we are calling them for interviews, the first and foremost thing what we do is we look at their digital traits. We look them up at all their social handles, what kind of personality it is, what kind of social settings they are in. That gives us just a 30-minute or a 1-hour interview, in-person interview. And right now it's virtual interviews, does not give us a good feel. But it's so important to read the right digital traits behind, so that people perceive you in the right light, and that they are able to create the right opportunities for you. So very well said. With that being, Shikha, thank you so much for being so gracious with your time and spending your valuable time with amazing young students. And I'm very sure that there were so many golden nuggets what you shared with us. With the young entrepreneurs, where they may be in a position to utilize one of those golden nuggets and transform the trajectory of their lives. If there are any other questions at any point in time, please feel free. We would love for you to be a part of this community, the entrepreneurial community, the women entrepreneurial community whom we are promoting, whom we want to highlight and showcase their success stories, so we can inspire and motivate other young women in colleges in their journeys as well. So thank you so much. And to all the audience, log on to sidahmed.com for this entire video. And there will be shorter nuggets which are going to be shared on various other social channels. But thank you all for tuning in. And Shikha, once again, a big thank you.
Sid, I'm grateful. Thank you very, very much. And all the best to all the women entrepreneurs. You're going to be rising and shining. So please remember, you're your own competition and there is no comparison. You are your own unique self. Sid, you're amazing. All the best. And thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Please take care. Thank you. Bye.